Welcome back to game number 2 of Team Tinker versus Power Rangers after what was one hell of an upset there from Power Rangers. Honestly, if I was looking at that game about 35 minutes in, I would have said Team Tinker had it in the bag. It really felt like the Wiz-Tiny combination should have just obliterated Power Rangers, but PR managing to take the right kind of team fights, end up coming out on top by going straight for the throne, not even messing around with a single lane of ranks, straight for the throne, managed to end the game in style. Meaning they are one game up now in our best of 3 for the playoffs of the Dota 2 Champions League European Division, game number 2. Now, we already see the draft, and I welcome in my co-caster in the process, Durka, man. What do you think about this pickup? We had Power Rangers go for the instant Wisp as their first pick, and Team Marino, Tinkerino, took some time to be able to respond, but when they did, they went for an Ogre Magi Timbersaw combo.
Is it just a block pick and then you think about what you want to pick later on, or do they actually have a draft in mind for this?
You're talking about the Tiny?
The Wisp.
Or the Wisp, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that, yeah, I feel like Power Rangers, they have good Wisp play. They played around with Wiz-Tiny plenty of times in the past, so I know that they can pull this off rather easily. But I think they look at that. I think, for me, the only reason you don't go for the Tiny as your second pick is that Ogre Magi Timbersaw. Mainly the Timbersaw pickup is what would be so concerning for me and give me a pause to go, do I really want the Tiny here? Because that is a very strong duo. Like, the Ogre Magi naturally tanky, so he can survive through the combination. But the Timbersaw, so good up against Wiz-Tiny combos because they're both strength heroes.
Yeah, very true. And Team Tinker picks up Disruptor against the Wisp.
Of course. So just further counter to him. And hell, I honestly think Power Rangers just have to not go for a Wisp strategy this game. They just have to be like, oh, this is a regular strat that also happens to have a Wisp. You know, it feels like they're just countered out so heavily by the Timbersaw and Disruptor combo.
Do you go for something really cheesy like Team Coast did in the EU qualifiers for TI4, or Alliance have tried to do a couple of times? Go for like a Wisp aggressive tri-lane with either like Treant or Keeper of the Light?
Okay, so that's not a bad idea, right? Treant Protector's been seeing a lot more play lately. He does have a lot of damage over time, so for me, I would only go for that if it's with a tree, so that's why I'm hypothesizing about a tree right now. I would only go with a Wisp tree. And for me, I don't think you can go tree in this game because, again, he's another strength hero, but also, like, look at all the damage over time that's going to eat through that living armor charges. So for me, I would say no. I would actually like to do something like a Phantom Assassin. Like, I feel like the Phantom Assassin, he's really good versus the he's pretty good versus the Timbersaw because Timbersaw will start out with low armor. So if you get that initial blink in, you can even you get a critical off of those first like 1 to 3 hits, and it's insane amount of damage because he's starting out at like practically no armor. And then on top of that, it's a good combination here with the Wisp that can be run as a dual lane mid, and you can actually put the puck as an off lane here, and then just run another dual lane in the safe lane, much like Team Tinker did, and walk away from the laning phase with a big advantage. Whoa, Lifestealer. There's a hero that we haven't seen in quite some time.
Yeah.
And certainly not third pick, but I think this is just entirely to deal with what Team Tinker picked up. Like, Lifestealer's good against all these heroes, excluding the Disruptor. If you get picked off by the Static Storm before you pop your rage, that's an issue, but everything else, Lifestealer's great against.
I get what you're saying with the PA, but that's sort of thinking, 20, 25 minutes into the game, once PA has BKB, has level 2 in the ultimate. Laning phase-wise, how do you stay in lane against Ogre, Timbersaw, Disruptor? Are these heroes, when they're moving onto your lane and they're harassing you, getting in your face?
I think what you do is you focus on, since they're the Radiant side, they focus on the pulling of the Wisp and the stacking of those two camps rather than, and just basically it's a PA solo mid, which we've seen before, and especially when you've got the Wisp healing you up with the bottle, I think it's possible. But now that we see a Death Prophet, for me, it's no longer a possibility, just because that evasion, obviously, no longer doing anything for you up against an Exorcism.
What is this from Power Rangers?
I don't know. It's really weird draft. It's really, really weird. The Ancient Apparition now is the 4th pick. Like, you've got a lot of heroes that don't do anything.
5 seconds remaining.
Let's think about this. If they put safe lane, tri lane, Lifestealer, AA, Wisp up against the Timbersaw, he's going to chain away. The Cold Feet doesn't proc. They can't kill him. Open Wounds doesn't do too much. they don't have enough damage potential or nuking power there to actually take him down. It looks like they want to do aggro try.
Radiant
I can't say I agree with you, but I think I can't agree with the idea of the aggro try, but I will agree with you saying that they are going to be going for an aggro try. Like it's weird, but I see what you're saying.
It's kind of like in the first draft. Also, watching it go along and thinking, okay, they've picked this hero, and then they picked that hero, and okay, they've drafted themselves into a corner, and they're just making the best of a bad situation. But it worked for them last game.
reserve time.
All right, well, let's see what this last pick is going to be here. The Nature's Prophet is going to be banned away by Team Tinker, while the Razor is banned out by the side of Power Rangers. I can agree with that. The Weaver, immediate counter pick, though, and that is definitely a very strong hero up against Power Rangers. The only hero that they had to deal with that is the Puck. Weaver is extraordinarily good versus the Lifestealer. When we used to see Lifestealer all the time, Weaver was a popular counter pick because he's so good at kiting around the Lifestealer.
5th pick. Show your cards. Come on.
Yeah, Power Rangers, this is going to determine what exactly our laning phase is going to be.
10 seconds remaining.
So that's the thing, it doesn't. Like, any hero they pick, they could put, like you said, they can put Puck
5
off lane,
seconds
safe lane mid.
remaining.
They can have Lifestealer solo safe and then run something else in an aggro try with the AA and Wisp. Maybe a Viper even.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like you
What?
need some added control, and it looks like they're just going for some regular defensive tri-lane, off-lane bat, mid-puck is what I'm seeing from this one. Because I don't think you can run the aggro try. If you wanted to run the aggro try, you would pick up a greedier off-laner, right? Yeah, something that goes better up against the 1v1 of Timbersaw or Weaver. And Bat Rider isn't it, I don't think.
Bat does decently against Timber, and I wouldn't put Bat up against Disruptor, Ogre, Weaver.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
It's certainly tough to call what exactly Power Rangers is going to be doing here.
What
Either
about
way,
Team
though,
Tinker?
I love Team Tinker's lineup. I feel like they drafted this way better than the side of Power Rangers. I don't know, something about that Wisp's first pick. You can recover from the Wisp, like early pickup like that, and just run a regular strat. But I think it's really like the Lifestealer as their 3rd pick and the Ancient Apparition as their 4th that really killed their draft, in my opinion. But it looks like, what is this early start off? Is this actually dual lanes?
What?
What in the world? I have no idea.
I knew it was going to be odd, but this...
This is a whole new level of odd. And they're not even, like, doing the early, like, kill the camps. Like, I would say I'd be down, I guess, with Lifestealer mid with the Wisp pulling. Like, it's the same vein of, like, running it with the Phantom Assassin, even though I would much prefer the Phantom Assassin here. But in general, it's the same vein of just basically it's a solo mid melee. It sucks, but because the Wisp is there to occasionally give you regen, he's going to be going for a fast bottle. You can survive the lane just fine, and the Wisp will be able to deny experience from the other mid by pulling like that because you have the advantage of this Radiant side. But they're not even doing that early kill, so I am at a complete loss of what they're going for here.
I guess Death Prophet, before she gets levels up in Witchcraft, her movement speed is awful. Actually awful. So with open wounds, they do have potential to kill her. But where does the AA go? Does he just stack and pull bot lane for the
I
Puck?
have no idea, but it looks like Soneko's going to be caught out here. He's looking for a tether, trying to get to the Ancient Apparition. Is this actually going to be enough distance, though? Pycat, no Shikuchi up in time, so it looks like he will be fine. But still, that was a very precarious position for Soneko to be in like that. And Team Tinker managed to secure the early Illusion rune for the Ogre Magi, while a Bounty rune is in the bottom lane. I'm sure these supports are going to be gunning for it. Why are they actually
tri-laning mid?
What is the tri-lane mid? Who does this?
Everybody does it against me. Whenever I play ranked, there's like tri or quad lane mid against me. It's just that's what happens.
Yeah.
They've been learning from ranked.
Yeah, that's apparently. Whenever they see Durka Dota, right? When you're running these pubs, they see Durka, they're like, oh,
I've got
we
a
gotta
fake
shut
nick.
down this guy.
I have to fake nick in ranked.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm expecting J4 to go down to the bottom lane eventually. Like, he's, like,
Mid?
early harassment, maybe.
Oh, wow. Quick was
Koifa.
dead.
He's going to be slowed down. Is he actually dead, though? Are they really going to be going for this dive? A couple more right clicks. They need a little bit more here. Soneko, one more right click. He will be able to get it first blood. He'll die for it, though, but still. First blood on the Wisp, and that is more than I ever expected out of this tri-lane mid. But picking up the early kill on the Death Prophet. I mean, you are right? The open wounds slow. Death Prophet is a she's one of the slowest movement speed heroes at level 1 because of the fact that Witchcraft gives you all that extra movement speed. So it doesn't really, you don't really think about Death Prophet as being slow, but she is very, very slow pre-level 5, I would say.
Yeah. And I hate this because like I was ripping into the Weaver a bit last game, but he missed an attack there. Like, because his attack animation was slowed by Chilling Touch, he actually cancelled his attack animation and missed a hit on DDP, which probably could have killed her before the Wisp had to dive in. I don't think they had to give the Wisp kill away, but they got the first blood, so they've got that going for them.
Meanwhile, Sing Sing is enjoying some decent free farm up against what was, for a long time, a solo Puck, and now J4 is only coming into lane. This is the problem I have with this attempted tri-lane or whatever the hell happened in that middle lane, is that Sing Sing, once you get a Timbersaw to level 3, it's huge for the Timbersaw, because at that point, Timbersaw went for, like, Sing Sing went for the greedier build here. He went for a 1-1-1 build, but if he wanted to, if he felt like he was really being harassed that much, he could go for a 0-1-2 build, and 2 levels of reactive armor is all the sustain you will ever need in the world to be able to stay in lane, because all you have to do is draw creep aggro, let the creeps hit you, and tick you up to like 8 charges of reactive armor, and you're actually out healing whatever damage is done. Middle lane, oh, the big dive. As they're able to pick up the Death Prophet once again, jump in, tether away, and Soneko will be able to get Didya back out.
And then the regen rune, wow.
Yeah, that's even better, and they're going to heal up. EGM is taking a bit of damage here, but Didya is not close enough to really be going for that dive. Soneko is once again to try and draw himself to the side here. No glimpses up for Disruptor. It looks like they will just try and trap EGM inside. Didya is going to be able to get this one, it looks like, as EGM has nowhere to run to. Meanwhile, the support is going to be chased down. J4 may be in some trouble. Finally, EGM does go down, thanks to the high amount of armor, though. He lives for so long. And on top of that, the Ancient Apparition able to get himself away. The Wisp bouncing around. Koifa turns around, but neither support is low enough to get that kill by itself. Didya is now going to be backed out. Rage just up in time in order to get away from that glimpse that could have put him in some serious trouble. But 3-1 already for the side of Power Rangers, and doing quite well, while Cheshire Cat has actually abandoned his offlane and is now farming up the jungle for himself, just now about to hit level 4.
And Life still has phase boots. This Death Prophet needs the support sitting behind her.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I didn't really think about the Chilling Touch from the AA. I was just sort of wondering, where does the hero go? But with Chilling Touch, Open Wounds, plus the Wisp Tether, it's pretty ridiculous. This pocket strat.
Yeah, but going back to it, I mean, like, it's an interesting idea, right? Running the Ancient Apparition, just basically kind of doing a drive-by Chilling Touch sort of deal, and giving you that extra damage in order to get the kill. Like, that's good and all, but what about what they're giving up? Sing Sing is level 5, soon to be level 6. And they don't have any real good control against him except for the Puck. I don't even feel like Batrider is that strong up against a Timbersaw in general, just because Timbersaw is usually tanky enough to be able to deal with the lasso and will just chain himself away. I feel like Puck is really the best counter they have to him, and they're like at a parity here.
I guess it depends what kind of build the Batrider goes to. Like, if he starts switching into Flame Break, he can become a lot stronger against Timbersaw, break that chain with the Flame Break stun.
True.
And yeah, I agree with you. But they've got 2 heroes that you can use as Lifestealer bombs as well. Once the Bat and Puck get Blink, so they've got that big initiation, then the Ice Blast.
Well, it's not a bad idea. You're right. I didn't even think about the Lifestealer bomb, because that's that extra bit of damage to really make the Puck that much more powerful up against the Timbersaw, because his nukes by himself is not going to be enough. But if they have Lifestealer popping out, Open Wounds, and right-clicking him down during the silence time, that could be enough.
Smoke up the top lane. AA trying to get some experience up here. Weaver fending him off. Does he back off to the tier 2?
Yeah, looks like he...
Oh,
no! He went back up. He got greedy, and he'll be caught for it. Bobo will be able to claim that last hit. And tier 1 tower down in trouble. Yeah, Sing Sing is trying to get himself away. Chakram goes out, but eventually will be dying to that fire. And 1-for-1 trade on both sides. But, oh no, the middle lane. Keep on missing out, just because I'm not expecting it. But Didya has once again gone for the dive and able to pick off the Death Prophet. Another huge win for the side of Power Rangers. That's twice now. I've zoned out and completely forgotten Lifestealer is going to be diving that tower in the middle lane. It's just so weird to have a Lifestealer Wisp in the middle lane and watch it be so active like that up against a Death Prophet.
Dire's middle tower is
And what can she do?
Yeah, well, not anymore. Not up against that phase boot. She really can't do anything.
So do they switch the lanes? Do they try and put Sing Sing mid? Because they've got no stuns to actually stop him?
I think so. I mean, like, Timbersaw mid is not preferable, but at the same time, it's guaranteed a hero that will not die, as you said, because they just don't have any stuns up against him, so he'll always be able to timber chain back.
But then you have to put the Weaver bot because Death Prophet can't sit bot with the 2 supports possibly roaming in with a Batrider. So you have to switch all of your lanes.
Yeah, that's always rough to do. You always miss out on a lot of experience. Pycat is
J4.
searching for J4 right now, not able to find him, as J4 had just the right cubbyhole to keep himself out of vision, and is going to continue to try and sap that level 6. Meanwhile, AGM is stacking up a nice little hard camp here for Koifa to get some recovery off of later, and he definitely is going to need it at this point, as Koifa has already died 3 different times in lane. Again, Koifa being the one guy who really just is not doing so well for Team Tinker. Mainly this time around because Power Rangers are focusing so much. But seems like Koifa may be having a bit of a bad day today. Cheshire Cat is looking for an opening here on Sing Sing, but without the Blink Dagger, it's always going to be rough. Now he's going to try and go for it. Gets him just in time, and now with the pullback, Sing Sing will not be able to have a chains up in time as right clicks finish him off. And that is a huge pickoff right there. They needed a pickoff like that. Kill on Sing Sing, plus gets Cheshire Cat that much closer to his Blink Dagger. If he doesn't get caught out right here, it's Bulba and EGM looking to be able to take him down. Shotchlo is coming down with the orb, though. And it looks like Team Tinker won't be able to pursue. Shotchlo managed to grab himself an Illusion Rune and fill up that bottle in the process. Ditya is just diving for Koifa, just making sure. Like, Koifa can't even get close to the lane. Lifestealer just immediately runs at him every single time.
Just making sure you still know I'm here. I'm here, ready to kill you.
You want to go for that rune? Sorry, buddy. If you want that rune, you're going to be meeting it up against a Wisp Lifestealer. And now they've actually got the relocate ready to go. 8 minutes in, 8.5 minutes in, Wisp being level 6 is really damn fast.
Yeah, and the importance of that kill on Timbersaw bot amplified by the fact that 2 supports were smoked, ready to go and try and find a kill on the puck.
Right,
so
right.
They were wasting so much time running down there.
Yeah, one of those things where if you just smoked up and gone for that rotation, even just 15 seconds earlier, maybe that could have been a advantageous fight for you, but it's just a bit too late. J4 is going to be chased down here in the top lane. The pings go out, and couldn't get that Shikuchi damage, and I think that's what Pycat was really relying on there in order to get the kill. Comes back once again, just forcing J4 back. Same thing as the Lifestealer versus the Death Prophet. Just, hey, I'm still here. You can't really come forward. Sing Sing. There's that jump away we were talking about. Really nothing that can stop him from being able to just timber chain away every single time they try and slow him down.
Yeah, they put the Timber mid and they know Death Prophet isn't bot, so they start drawing in the jungle like she's got to be farming camps in here.
Yep, and in which case, do you go for a smoke, and who do you go for it on? I guess like Cheshire Cat plus J4 could go for a smoke. Obviously, like Ancient Apparition is crap at being able to roam pre-level 6. Like, you're just not a roaming hero in general, but
You take puck.
You have the relocate, right? So if you run those 2 heroes into the jungle with the Batrider having a Blink Dagger and you just relocate in, you could catch out Koifa. But it looks like they're going to go for a smoke of just the dual lane here, and it may be successful. They're going to run right into Koifa. Oh, Koifa. Could this day get any worse for him?
Yeah, I was going to say you take the puck, but he's got a TP. You can go up to the top lane, let AA get level 6 down here.
Oh, that's true. J4 would love some solo experience right about now. If he actually managed to soak up Ice Blast, like if he just soaks up the experience to get level 6 and has Ice Blast ready to go, they might be able to kill the Timbersaw with a combination here. Shotchlo having almost maxed out nukes plus a Dream Coil, add in the Ice Blast on top of that. That should be enough damage. Oh, Shotchlo, they're going to go for it now. Sing, silenced up, and the relocate in as well. And that's going to be enough to be able to finish him off. And Team Tinker really on the edge here.
Oh, man. The double TP mid to get the Wisp relocating back.
Wow.
They really want to kill.
This is rough. They're going to go for it. Ditya immediately pops it. Oh, God, he's going to be able to get 2 off of this one. Koifa in some trouble. They need a little bit of extra damage. Oh, Rage is going to be able to run out, and Koifa will run himself away. The Ice Blast, not quite enough. Shotchlo trying to catch up, Orb in just another seconds, but I think they're kind of overextending themselves here. Koifa's too damn fast for them to catch up. Ditya, maybe not. Oh, unable to get the open wounds out. Now they're going to try and back themselves up through the enemy jungle. EGM's going to be spotted out here. Silence onto Koifa. Orb goes out. Koifa will be one step ahead of it seems. Shotshell unable to go anywhere. Now they're just kiting around these heroes, hoping to be able to take some advantage off of the fact they're fighting underneath the tier 2s. But EGM still finds. Koifa actually gets caught by Cheshire Cat. He's going to be going down the right side. Looks like the puck is going to be going down up against Boba. But Ditya's not done yet. Pops the drums. Realizes he's probably going to have to back himself up. Rage and a teleport away. Yep, there it is. And he'll get out. They just picked up 2 different kills off of that very, very long, drawn-out dive. They get the Death Prophet, and they got another here, didn't they? It wasn't just the Death Prophet.
They killed the Ogre behind the tier 2 top.
Yeah, that's right. They killed the Ogre underneath the tier 2.
But no, they killed someone initially. They killed the Disruptor mid, and then the Death Prophet, then the Ogre, then the Death Prophet. But I thought it was just going to be the Wisp relocating back. Then Ice Blast came back in.
Yeah.
We brought the Lifestealer in. It's like, guys, that isn't just a Wisp. We're all dead.
Yeah, that's that Lifestealer. Like, he just doesn't care. Like, he's so good against his team. Excluding the fact that he doesn't have any stuns himself, so he's not very good versus the Timbersaw. Like, he eats through some of these tankier heroes. They have nothing to be able to control him, thanks to Rage. Like, they've got nothing except Static Storm. If they catch him out before the Rage, that's their only hope.
And he has a 12-minute Armlet Phase drums, 503 with 77 CS.
Yeah, Jesus. Another smoke up. Power Rangers continue their aggression here, as it looks like they want to try and go for another dive into the jungle. And looking for are they just, like, shutting down Koifa? Like, is that their only job right now? Sineko's going to be spotted out here, but the turnaround. Ditya is going to be going, finding Bulba. That's going to be one pickup. Can they get anything else off of this?
One hero we haven't really talked about is Pycat on the Weaver. That's because he hasn't really contributed anything.
Yeah, he's just one of those heroes that really doesn't contribute much outside of the laning phase. Like, you only really start fighting until, like, 35 minutes, and that's only if you have good farm. Yep, bounces himself away. Looks like they want to go for this middle push. But yeah, Weaver, like, needs to finish up the Linken's heroes. It looks like that's what Pycat's going to be going for in this game. Do you agree with that? I feel like, though, up against a puck, normally the BKB is better, but of course he's got to deal with the Bat Rider at the same time.
Yeah, it's really rough. Like, that Midas decision, obviously he was in good stead the first 4-5 minutes of the game because he was solo against no one. But the fact that the rest of his team are crumbling, like, Sing Sing hasn't had a bad game. It has just been that mid lane where Koifa has been crushed. But we still have to remember that once he gets Exorcism going, they can start taking tier 1 towers, get a bit of gold in their pockets, get Ogre a bit of farm, get the Disruptor moving around the map. They do have the potential to get these teamfight combinations off, and if EGM gets some big multicasts, there's always the possibility that they can win teamfights and bring this game back into their hands.
Do you think the teams will start doing basically what Power Rangers are doing right now, is just addressing Koifa in the early game and just completely shutting him down? Like similar to what we would see some teams do up against EG pre-TI4. They would just, like, go for Arteezy, right? And just, like, shut down Arteezy 100%. If they shut down Arteezy, they actually have a really good shot going into the mid game because Arteezy takes so much time to recover from there. Do you think you just do something similar up against Team Tinkers, seeing as Koifa's been playing so damn well lately?
I think so.
Oh, relocate bottom lane. They're going to be able to grab him. Sing Sing will be stunned up by that coil, and that is one of the most beautiful things about the puck versus the Timbersaw. The Dream Coil makes sure that you can't Timber Chain away, because when the stun hits, your Timber Chain stops.
I think it was... What's happened?
Oh, they just relocated away, which before the last hit, which I think they wanted to give to the Lifestealer, but Shotshell will claim it instead.
Ice Blast top onto Pycat.
Oh, Pycat gets off the ultimate just in time, and now we have Cheshire Cat trying to run himself away. Pycat's going to be going in for the dive here, but this is a deep one, and he no longer has his ultimate. There goes the dust. They know he's completely revealed. Silence goes out. Pycat searching for an opening some away, but still, the stun comes out. A couple right clicks will be able to take him down. Meanwhile, EGM, Boba, quick teleport away by him, will be able to get out, but unfortunately his fellow support EGM was no love for the Lifestealer whatsoever.
Yeah, I think focusing Arteezy was a lot more important because he was playing basically carry mids,
right?
Where you had to recover by farming, and they just didn't give him any time. When Koifa's playing heroes like Death Prophet, who can still come back into the game with Tower Gold and flash farming the jungle with Swarm, it's not as important. Like, it's going to piss him off a hell of a lot. but I don't think it's as important as it was with RTZ.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Koifa is going to be going for an exorcism push in the bottom lane, but it looks like Power Rangers are not going to give this tower up so easily. Cheshire Cat has already set himself up just to bounce them back, plus the Ice Blast coming in and forcing Team Tinker back. Meanwhile, they do claim that tier 1 tower in the top lane. And on top of that, they're ready to relocate. And that's why Team Tinker, they're going to set her up with 5 heroes. They're really going to try and force down this tower and take a full-on team fight. EGM's going to be dragged back as the starter here. It's already underneath the tower. Shotchlo comes in. Oh, Gates glimpse back, but gets off the orb. Doesn't manage to jump to it in time. And that will actually leave him completely out of the fight. Meanwhile, Koifa being dragged out. Ditya trying to catch up for him. Now turns around on Sing Sing, but now he's going to be kited out and needs some extra help. The Wisp keeping him alive, though. The heals just keeping Ditya impossible to kill. At this point, they reload code back up to the top lane, where now Pycat will jump in with the Shikuchi, looking for some extra pickoffs, seeing as those heroes are down. He knows that this is just cleanup time. Cheshire Cat turns around, Flame Brat gets hit by the Shikuchi and will be taken out. As that's one. So Neko now relocate back in. They're looking for somebody. Pycat, he'll get himself away. There's just no way that Lifestealer. They can slow him down here, but another Shikuchi is going to go out in a second, or pops the ultimate and runs the different direction. And he'll probably just TP away.
I did mention it earlier that the Batrider is probably going to go for max Flame Break, but I never checked. He has actually gone for 2-4-3 build. Oh, wow. So he's fully maxed Flame Break.
So a lot of extra, like, burst damage, plus, as you said earlier, the interruption of the stun up against Timber Chain is really strong. So
also against Shikuchi.
Yeah, that's true. Like, the damage over time is just really not very good up against a Weaver, solely because Shikuchi plus your ultimate, it's going to be able to keep you alive. So extra burst damage is really what's required. So I actually like this decision quite a lot by the Batrider.
Glimpse onto Puck.
Oh, poor Puck. Kind of surrounded. Will be able to jump to his orb. He'll be fine. I lost the Puck there for a second. For some reason, I thought he was down in the bottom lane, but Team Tinker unable to find the pickoff, and now just going to go right back to farming. I think that's really what they need.
Top lane.
Yep, Cheshire Cat will be able to grab him. Lasso and into the Ice Blast. And with the Flame Break, I think that's going to be enough damage right there. Sing Sing will make his jump away, and Cheshire Cat just needs a blink. He's actually going to run out, relocate in. They really want this kill. And there it is. The Spirits will be able to finish him off, so Neko now on a killing spree thanks to that last hit. Not really what you wanted to invest, but oh well.
He was fine until the relocate of Wisp, and I almost said Tiny there, Wisp Lifestealer.
The Wisp Lifestealer combination. Not too many times you can say that. Pycat, he's going to be in some serious trouble here in the bottom lane. Gets silenced up, but just after the Shikuchi, and Pycat will be able to pop his ultimate. Oh, just before the Dream Coil went out as well. Pycat still needs a lot of distance. Will hide himself in the trees. The teleport away. Shotchlo has nothing to stop this. Nobody has anything on the side of Power Rangers, and Cheshire Cat will go down in the top lane as we were following that one. Looks like Bulba, EGM, plus Koifa were able to 3-man down the Batrider.
The AA bought a gem, and it's now on the Puck, so they are going to be chasing down Pycat.
I like that pickup quite a bit. I mean, they've shut down the Death Prophet to a point where it's unlikely for the Death Prophet to really become a big factor going into late game. She's obviously still going to be strong, very, very strong mid-game presence, but I feel like in order to be a good late-game carry, you have to be really far ahead. And ooh, that Ancient Apparition.
Yeah, he was going for a ward on that little cliff there. Pycat somehow managed to find him. But yeah, I think the fact that they've shut down Death Prophet has had a knock-on effect, because obviously they want that tower goal to be rolling in. Pycat, 20 minutes in, doesn't have Lincolns yet. He's got Midas and 2,500 gold on top of Perseverance, so he's still the recipe away.
Yeah, that's where those early tier 1 towers, just like we saw from like game 1 of Team Tinker with their pickup of the Chikiro, the 1 position Chikiro, like so necessary to be able to take down those early towers. That way you can transition that Tiny into a harder carry much, much faster. And something similar here was planned for the Weaver, but you're right, it's just the lack of towers being taken by Koifa really hurting them. He will be able to claim, oh, the glyph goes out. And Pycat trying to get some distance away, the teleport out, and once again, Dream Coil, oh, it stops him just in time. They will be able to get this, plus the deny on the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, and that is perfect. Power Rangers got to be so happy with that exchange, as the pickoff on Pycat is worth its weight in gold right now. Delaying up the Lincolns even further.
Yeah, stops his Lincolns by what, a minute and a half or so?
And more importantly, I mean, like the Lincoln, stopping the Lincolns is nice, but for me, more importantly, delaying up that next offensive item for the Weaver, which really means that you can start being a factor in these team fights. And because this is really the part of the game where the Weaver starts dropping off quite heavily, I feel. And it's only until you pick up that next item, whether it's a Desolate or Daedalus, what have you. You own their possibilities here. Now with the changed up Geminate attack, doesn't really matter. Oh, what matters is the Weaver drops off now until he picks up that next offensive item.
Life still has a basher.
Team Tinker, Roshan's getting low, but Team Tinker are going to try and mount a response here. Roshan, they will be able to get both the kill as well as the Aegis on the side of Power Rangers. And they'll start running themselves out. Looks like they want to try and grab Sing Sing. Managed to get him with the lasso, dragging him back into Shasha. Will silence him up, and Sing Sing is done for. As he grabs a Soul Ring at the last second, he's actually going to be going for a Bloodstone. Not that I can blame him. But Bloodstone is definitely like the go-to item for a Timbersaw as your first item. But it almost feels like almost an Aghanims or even just a BKB. Not items that you want to go first, but items that may be necessary solely because of the fact you may have to just turtle this out for a really long time and hope for the best.
I would say a mech game, but the AA there does sort of tilt that away from buying mech. I still think it's a good item on Timbersaw, especially when you're in such a difficult situation where you need that burst of HP regen.
You don't think that the bit of mana issues that Timbersaw has, that's obviously going to be exacerbated by the cost of the mech, especially since the mech costs more now. You don't think that is enough that Timbersaw can't go for it? Or do you still take that into account and still go, yeah, mech?
Well, now they've changed Bloodstone so it has Soul Ring as a component. I think it's okay if you... Oh, Pycat.
Yeah, Pycat gets silenced up, and Lincoln's or no. It's still going to be enough burst damage to take him down before he can pop the ultimate. And 50 seconds on the sideline.
With the Soul Ring component, I think it's okay if you go like Soul Ring Arcane's mech or just Soul Ring mech, because you're always going to have that 150 mana to spend. It is still an expensive item, mana cost-wise.
Yeah, I didn't really think about like the Soul Ring being that extra component to be able to help out that mana cost, but yeah, honestly, it's not that bad of an idea, right? Because the armor really helps out the Timbersaw as you start out with no armor whatsoever early on. So even those first couple initial hits won't be doing that much of physical damage, and then as you build that reactive armor, it does less and less. And obviously, you would love to be able to have some extra team fight on the side of Team Tinker, but it looks like for now they're going for as much split push possibilities until they're going to be forced back into the base. It looks like Power Rangers are going to be going uphill here. 24 minutes into this game, 19-7, and they're already beating on these Tier 3 towers.
Yeah, those rares. The 9-to-1 odds.
9-to-1 odds. In some serious trouble. Koifa's going to be grabbed. Lasso back. Ditya is going to try and take him down here. He's got the Aegis. It doesn't matter if he dies here inside this Static Storm. If you could just take out one hero, Koifa. No! The Flame Break takes him out. And Sing Sing now in some trouble as well. The Urn relocate in. Oh, Soneko wants this one. If he can actually get it. No! The Ice Blast isn't quite enough. The Spirit Balls get him just in front of the throne. And Soneko now going to be in some serious trouble as he's taken out by Koifa. Ditya, a little bit overextension here as he's able to finish off at least EGM, but he's low. And Pycat searching for that kill. J4 managed to get himself away. Ditya still in some trouble though. Relocate away. And don't think... Oh no! He didn't pop the Rage. Why didn't he pop the Rage? He's actually going to be able to get this kill on Koifa. He's trying for it. Not going to be enough. He just raged and teleported away. There was no way they would have been able to do enough physical damage to kill him before that TP went off.
Just typical PR play. Diving behind throne to try and find a kill on a Timbersaw with the Wisp. Life Stealer running back and forth trying to find the Weaver who's just like, I'm invis.
I mean, technically that ballsy play from the Wisp, pun intended, it worked, right? Oh, Koifa, jump in. Oh, shot slow. A little bit slow there on the Dream Coil. If he had held him in just long enough for the Ice Blast to land, I think they could have popped him. But then again, he's got the Yule Scepter to take into account as well. But yeah, that was a crazy move by the Wisp. Just barely managing to kill Sing Sing right in front of the fountain like that. But that did give Team Tinker some serious time of reprieve. That Tier 3 tower got knocked down to 578 HP. But look how much map control they gained on top. Relocate to the top lane. They're going to be able to find Bulba. The ward being laid down. You normally would expect this cliff ward. But for here, They actually threw it over here where you were able to spy out Bulba. Bloodstone finished up by Sing Sing, but this is really not the position you want to be picking up a Bloodstone, where you're losing fights and not really being a part of any kills at all.
Yeah, that's like the PR ward. The amount of times I've seen them place ward here or like up here.
Oh,
and they've had
yeah,
Cheshire
yeah.
Cat and Nature's Prophet just blinking around, zapping people. They love their odd ward spots. But the amount of gold that Koikva and Pycat got from killing the Lifestealer, I didn't actually check the little feature score recap.
Team fight recap? Yeah, it can be hard to click it in time sometimes.
I just forgot about it.
10,000.
Just straight up forgot it existed.
It's okay. I forget about it too sometimes. It's just like, it's not the most noticeable thing in the world, and sometimes, especially since it still needs to be worked around quite a bit. Because it'll like show up, like, say there's 2 kills and like 5-second break, and then there's going to be 4 more kills. It'll be like, here's a team fight recap, and I'm like, I'm not done yet. But the problem is, it won't include those 2 initial kills with the secondary team fight recap. You know, so it's still some things that need to be worked out. Plus, it's just right in the middle of the screen.
Obnoxious,
right?
yeah.
Which can be really hard to work around.
I know there's a console command that can reduce the amount of detail presented in it. It's like 0, 1, 2, and 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
That
It's still the problem. It's still like, it's a graph right in the middle of the
Yeah.
screen, which you're like, I can't really like do anything as a cameraman with that sitting there. So over a 10,000 gold lead right now for the side of Power Rangers, and almost a 10,000 experience lead on top of that. But look at what they're going for. They're going for a gank onto Ditya. Suneko needs to be able to get out of here, but he's still silenced up. He will be taken down. And Ditya now trying to, oh, he actually pops that one just to try and get to Bulba here, but won't be able to in time. And this is a huge pickoff for Team Tinker. They get a bunch there. The puck not making the jump in. Shot slow through out an orb, but not feeling ballsy enough to be able to throw it out. And just the Ogre Magi that goes down in that team fight. But they got 2, and most importantly, they got the Lifestealer for that exchange. That is huge. That buys Team Tinker a lot more time. Again, it's been, what, almost 3 minutes already since Power Rangers were going for that almost death push, you could call it, in the top lane. And they've bought themselves a good, like, 5 to 10 minutes of extra time before Power Rangers will finally regroup and go for that push once again.
And they're buying more time for Pycat to get that big item.
Yeah.
3.5k.
He's getting
It's still Desolator territory for me.
Yep. But at the same time, I think that Armlet, like, Desolator's so good versus Lifestealer because not only are you really good at being able to kite around this hero, but he's usually lacking in armor. Armlet is a really good armor item, though, at the same time. It gives you an extra 5 armor, which is practically enough to be able to deal with the Desolator by itself. So I think I'm a little bit more inclined to maybe go for some later game item, like,
But
I don't know.
Lifestealer has a heart, though, so you've got to think about the effective HP of heart.
True.
You have to rip through that HP somehow.
Yeah, so I think you maybe just have to ignore the Lifestealer now. You just have to kite him around, and maybe the Desolator is still your item because it'll just pop these supports really quickly. Like, go for the Ancient Apparition in the back, go for the Bat Rider. These heroes won't be able to deal with Desolator nearly as well as the Lifestealer can. Cheshire Cat looking for that opening once again. They're just going to beat down these tier 2s, and if Team Tinker want to respond in any fashion, Power Rangers will respond by picking them off thanks to the lasso. But Team Tinker, they're not going to be doing any of that. As you can see, again, they're just buying time from Pycat. He's sitting at 4,400 gold right now, getting very, very close to that next item. How much is a Desolator? 4,100. So if he wanted it, he could have it right now. But
Oh, Roshan is so close to spawning.
Meanwhile, Lifestealer probably going to be going for Abyssal as his next pickup, as you would love to have some additional lockdown up against a Weaver. And a hero who has been lacking lockdown all game long, that would be a huge upgrade for him. Sing Sing, meanwhile, well, he actually went up to 10 Bloodstone charges. So he's actually survived through that last engagement, got those 2 kills up in the top lane, and now has a point booster. If he can manage to get his Aghanim, seriously, the power of the Aghanim's upgrade on Timbersaw, there's so many different things it's good at, but I think one of the biggest things, the raw turtle power. Like, even pre-level 16, double chakrams just instantly kills a wave. There's not much you can do to stop that. So
you can block an entire ramp with it as well.
Yeah, that's also true. Like, there's no way up the ramp without taking all that chakram damage. Another tier 2 is going to be falling. Meanwhile, the side of Team Tinker will push out the top lane as best as possible. The Bloodlust, well, that's something we didn't really talk about too much just yet, but EGM now has it at level 3. So that's going to be an extra boost for Pycat, who did go for the Desolator.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And, well, there's another thing, right? The Desolator's interaction of putting people at minus armor. We've got another big physical damage dealer, and that's
Exorcism, yeah.
Yeah, the Exorcism is going to do so much damage with that minus armor on the hero.
Talking of Koikva, he went for Vitality Boost and Plate Mail. Is that going to be a Shiva's or AC?
On who now?
On Koikva, on the Death Prophet.
Gotta be Shiva's. Gotta be Shiva's, I think.
Gotta be.
You just, that extra slow up against like a Lifestealer. Obviously, like Rage is something you're really concerned about, but if you can manage to get yourself away, like you'll Scepter yourself, buy some time, the Rage goes down, and then you pop that Shiva's, like the Lifestealer being slowed down like that, I think is so huge. It just gives you that extra kiting power up against him. Plus, the extra nuking power is always helpful against some of these squishier heroes.
Yeah, also attack speed slow. If you've got Chilling Touch on you, they're not going to be hitting at all.
Right.
Just going to be standing there. I've got bonus damage, but can't swing my attacks. Yo, the Wisp has a halberd.
Wow. That is a big pickup. I love Wisp with halberd. I think that, like, it's a really good strength item in general, so it gives you a lot of HP. The one downside is up against a Timber Saw. Maybe HP isn't, or raw strength isn't your best bet. But the halberd being as like a later game item is wonderful because the disarm, people don't expect it out of like a measly support Wisp. And then just add on top of that, the evasion will obviously increase your survivability by quite a lot because everybody will target a Wisp. That's just generally how it goes.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Team Tinker falling back on split pushing, just buying for time. They're pushing out this bottom lane, seeing if they can maybe go for the tier 2 in the bottom lane and force Power Rangers to respond with some sort of defense. And if they do end up going for the full 5-man push in the top lane, well, maybe they can get some tower gold before that team fight occurs. But if they want that to happen, they have to go for the push right away, as already the side of Power Rangers are about to go uphill. One last creep wave, and they'll have it.
I was kind of hoping PR were going to go for a sneaky play there. They had the Lifestealer infested in the Wisp, so they could take 3 heroes into a fight. But they just came straight out.
Silence on Didya. And the jump in, lasso onto Koipa. Oh, this could be bad here. The Ice Blast's going to go down. Koipa down. He's got a buyback, though. And he's going to need to use it, too. Bulba going to be silenced up. Oh, look at the damage from Pycat, though, ripping through Didya's health. And the glimpse back. He's got no way out. This is going to be his Aegis. And he's going to be... Oh, no, the relocate!
Wow.
So Nako saved him just in time. They're going to be able to come back with an Aegis. The rest of the side of Power Rangers, though, in some serious trouble. Cheshire Cat gets a Force Staff away, saving himself for some time. And now Shasho comes in. Beautiful Dream Coil. The rest of the team is coming in from behind, and it's going to be a sandwich. Here comes Ditya. He's going to go straight for Sing Sing. Timber Chain away, but it's not going to be enough distance. Sing Sing falls. Next up, Pycat. No, he said he's going to be going for Koifa, trying to rip through him. There goes his Wisp. And Ditya having some issues. Going to be kited around quite heavily as he no longer has the rage. And is going to be falling to Pycat here. I don't think he's got a way out. Maybe jump in, shot low, jump in the way, orb to the side. Now he just needs to be able to use the Yule Scepter. Pops out, will be going for Bulba, takes him down. Next up, Koifa, but there goes that Aegis. So Nako, with the buyback here, needs to make sure that the second life of the Lifestealer isn't put to waste. Because they know the danger of the Lifestealer by himself as he gets kited around so heavily. J4 is being gone on by Sing Sing, needs to be able to get up to this tree right here. And he will be able to get a distance. And Ditya not really fast enough to get for that one, but look at them, they're just being kited around so heavily. Team Tinker. Relocate, are they really going for it? They're going to try and get EGM, he's kind of surrounded here, he's not going anywhere. Bounce back by the Flame Break, Pycat will just throw out some bugs, but it's not going to be good enough. He does have a buyback though, so he can be here in this next fight if Power Rangers try and force this without the puck, but I highly doubt it.
They don't have Glyph though. So I don't know if the plan here is to go up to the tier 3, kill it, and then run. It's kind of dangerous, but they need to make something happen. How much money does Puck have? He doesn't have boots. No, he's gone for level 3 Dagon.
Oh, Jesus.
As you do.
All right. Well, that's a high amount of burst damage. I mean, they need that kind of burst damage, though, up against Pycat. They just don't have enough lockdown for him. They have the nukes, they have the Ice Blast. It's just not enough to kill Pycat in time. And he's always able to get off that time lapse.
Level 4 Dagon.
That is a huge amount of burst damage. If Cheshire Cat manages to grab somebody, oh, like this jump in right here, BKB, instead will go for Bulba. No Static Storm and no kiting abilities. That's going to be pretty big for the Lifestealer. Now just trying to beat down this melee Rax. There goes the Halberd onto Pycat. Didya take a lot of damage so far as Timbersaw does quite a lot of work to him with that Willing Death. Turn around, Koifa will just run right through. Takes one, now going for another. Silence goes down, Cheshire Cat. Power Rangers may try and turn this one. Flame Break goes out, bouncing some heroes around. Yule Scepter going down. This is where they're going to have to turn here. Cheshire Cat needs to be able to help out Dream Coil, completely whiffing that one. EGM, oh, he actually managed to get off the Magic Wand just long enough to ensure the kill into the Bat Rider. Meanwhile, the Lifestealer gets gobbled up by the Exorcism. And unfortunately, the relocate away by Soneko, well, maybe he can actually teleport out. Oh, this is a good play. He manages to get it just in time. Sing Sing is low. But the Puck, not having enough burst damage. Maybe he does now. Dagon is back up. He can look for this kill, and that's why Sing Sing will teleport away. He knows it's too dangerous. And Shotchlo should be able to get himself out, but another team fight. Team Tinker hold for just a little bit longer. 31-17, 37 minutes in. It's an 8,000 gold lead for the side of Power Rangers and about a 3,000 experience lead, but that is dipping down.
Oh, Bulba.
And that is maybe Bulba's death. Shotchlo sees him. No, did he? No, it's nighttime.
No, he's not seen
Bulba
him.
sees him, though, and he's going to try and lock him down. Static Storm goes out, disabling the orb. Yule Scepter also being used, and Shotchlo, he now gets silenced up. He's probably going to be going down here as long as Sing Sing managed to land a Chakram. Shotchlo, another Yule Scepter going down, and a Crib Swarm. He dodges a lot of damage there, but I don't think he'll have the opportunity. Blink away just before it. Now the orb out. He's got a regen, too. Oh, my God. He grabbed the regen, went up to the cliff. Sing Sing, he gets the regen for quite a long time, and Shotchlo's good. He's already healed up so much, there's no way they can kill him anymore. Beautiful play there from Shotchlo. The Puck doing some insane work this game. Even if he completely whiffed a Dream Coil in the last team fight, which I have no idea how he did that. Up here, seeing as there were like 5 heroes in that team fight, how he whiffed the Dream Coil entirely. But Shishikat, well, he's going to be caught out. Relocate just holds him in place long enough for the Lifestealer. Wisp. And apparently Shishikat wants it for himself. He dragged it away from the Lifestealer, making sure he gets the kill.
Koifa went for a heart over the Shivas, which is kind of interesting against Lifestealer.
No, I actually really agree with that. Well, not necessarily. AA. Yeah. Okay. Let me rephrase that. Normally, I agree with that with the Death Prophet. I like to see, like, if you're going to go for a heart, get a plate mail, like a value plate mail in there because you need that extra armor. So, in general, I agree with the idea of him getting the plate mail before he finishes the heart. But going up against both the Lifestealer as well as the Ice Blast from the Ancient Apparition, I think your best bet is armor over health at this point. But I don't know. We'll see whether or not it works for him. 39 minutes in, another very, very close game here between Team Tinker and Power Rangers. Power Rangers currently sitting 1 game up in this best of 3. Ignore the best of 5 markers here on the top screen. It is a best of 3 in the quarterfinals of the playoffs for the Dota 2 Champions League European Division. And this is just the first round. This is kind of what we're expecting to see for the rest of the Dota 2 Champions League. I'm looking forward to seeing these playoffs because this has been one hell of a series so far.
It's been pretty ridiculous. What does Sing Sing buy next? Do you save up for Boots of Travel or do you try and get a Hex?
I think you have to. I don't think you can go either. For me, it's No, you can't go BKB. I think it's too late. Like, the BKB will still be really good with the Puck up against the Puck, but I think the Puck is less of your concern now. So I think maybe you're right. Maybe Boots of Travel. Maybe a Blink Tagger is better. Being able to have that instant jump in. Look at that. Double Chakrams. Jump in from the Bat Rider. Will be going for Sing Sing of all heroes. Trying to drag him back with the Ice Blast Dagon. Guaranteed kill there. But the instant buyback from Timbersaw. They're going to go out, try and force this fight. Yule Scepter onto the Lifestealer. Static Storm goes down, and Didya, he can do nothing. He can't even rage. Double Chakrams will be able to finish him off. Suneko's going to be up next as he gets glimpsed back and torn apart by the Fire Blast plus the Bug. Meanwhile, Koifa is going to be looking for Shotchlo. Silence him up. Nope, silence put on him first. The Yule Scepter away. And Shotchlo will be the 3rd victim from the side of Team Tinker. So they may have this really good combination with the Bat Rider jumping and dragging back a hero into the Ice Blast, into the maxed out Dagon. Guaranteed kill. Guaranteed. Like, I don't care what hero they grab, that seems to be a guaranteed kill for them. And yet, just one simple buyback, and Team Tinker are able to just swarm over Power Rangers.
Right now, I would buy back 3 heroes as PR. Like, you buy back, because the exorcism is down for 100 seconds, you just run at them.
Yeah,
You take Rax, or you defend Roshan, whatever it is, you just go.
And your game, like, Team Tinker, in my mind, have way better late game, and it's already so concerning to me that you've lost so many team fights, you haven't been able to finish up that set of Rax. If you give up Aegis here, I don't think there's a recovery back into this game. Like, like obviously Power Rangers still have a fighting chance, but at this point, right as Aegis is picked up, in my mind, Team Tinker have a big advantage now. They now have control of this game. Sure, they were constantly being pressured, constantly over and over again, but for me, Team Tinker are way ahead of the game now. And you could see that kind of being reflected here as the gold graph starts plummeting downward in the favor of Team Tinker, and experience is now in their favor as well. Weaver, on top of that, has a Butterfly, plus the Desolator, plus now an Aegis, and is going to be able to pick up a straight-up Daedalus very soon. In fact, he can get it already if he wants to forsake buyback. Oh, God, they're going for relocate. What?
Oh, no.
Oh, we got the gem.
Okay.
He recovered the gem that was still there in the base because they have vision from this ward. How does nobody pick up the gem? I was going to be like, how did he know it was still there? That's such a ballsy play, but they still have the ward there in the base. If anybody had grabbed that gem, they would have immediately seen, oh, hey, there's a ward in our base.
How does no one pick up the gem?
I don't know. Team Tinker, they have an issue with that. They actually have a really big issue with that. There was a game recently up against what is their name? XTC, I believe is their name, something like that. They're an up-and-coming international team, and they dropped a Divine Rapier in a match. Team Tinker won a big team fight and didn't grab the Divine Rapier. It was just sitting there. They had no idea that Divine Rapier was picked up from the side of XTC at all. Koifa, he's going to be jumped on here. Drag back into Shot Shield, try to pop him. Ice Blast, maybe off the mark here. Doesn't actually land, but still will be able to pop Koifa. Pycat will be able to at least kill the Wisp here. Pops his ultimate, now going to be pursuing Lifestealer, who, with no longer having that rage, is so easily cleaned up. By the side of Timbersaw, everyone else jumps to the orb. Shotchlo needs a little bit of extra time here. Nice use of the Yule Scepter. Going to be able to protect him somewhat, but he still goes back nonetheless, blinking himself backwards further. And probably just needs to buy for time at this point. As this is going to be like a four-man push by Team Tinker into the middle lane. Thanks to, whoa, the relocate back. Didn't even notice that one, but Suneko apparently relocated away. And will come right back into his doom. 2 heroes down, the most important 2 heroes, Wisp and the Lifestealer. And Team Tinker will probably be able to claim up at least a tier 2 here. Possibly even going uphill for a tier 3 if they can find another pickup.
The comebacks are real.
The comebacks are very real right now, man. Daedalus finished up by Pycat. Look at him, he's already got another 3k gold. This comeback mechanic really working in the favor of the Weaver right here. J4, whoa, what is he doing so far out? I guess he was really hoping that they would go on him with a buyback from the Lifestealer, but that ends up being a buyback worth nothing for them. And they actually managed to recover the gem again, by the way.
On the courier, yeah.
Yeah, the courier went out, grabbed the gem.
How do you stop Pycat?
I don't think you can. I think your time is too late.
A prize.
Like, it has to be with...
You have to combo the bat and the puck together, or you have to blink bat, force staff Pycat, then lasso, but obviously Pycat's going to react in time. So, I don't know. Like, you have to have jet, right? So you have to have a gem, blink in with the puck, silence him, then force staff him and lasso him, or you use him to pop the Lincolns, then lasso him. But then you've got Exorcism and Timbersaw and everyone else jumping on you and killing you.
Okay, so I think I know what it is. It's got to be Scythe of Isis, and one of which is going to be coming up for the Bat Rider here pretty soon. The Puck, that's got to be his next item as well. So Power Rangers, I think their time for mid-game pushing is over. They have to go for late game, and that means you have to have hard CC. Like, that's something that they've been missing out the whole entire game, is they've lacked control up against the Weaver, and that's why it was so essential for them to be able to break base like that. Or early on to the game when they were trying to 5-man push top. And that's why I was so concerned every single time, like those small pickoffs. Remember, it was like 25 minutes into the game, and I was like, this team, oh my god, the Weaver just found a pickoff. He just picked off the Bat Rider and the top lane. But like, just those small delays in time meant so much for Power Rangers and their strength. I mean, at one point there was this overwhelming, dominating force that was pushing uphill where Team Tinker couldn't do anything but try and just poke at them. they couldn't really commit to a fight, mainly because the Weaver didn't have that one big damage item. And then he did get that one big damage item. We had a couple of very close clashes, and eventually Team Tinker just kept scraping by, right? They kept going even in the team fight, just enough to keep the racks alive, just enough to get an extra kill, and then all of a sudden they're completely overwhelming Power Rangers as the team fights go a little bit later into the game. Team Tinker start getting more and more advantage, and now they're just have full control, and Power Rangers have to fall back on going late game of their own, which is obviously not ideal since they don't have a great late game.
Yeah, and it kind of comes back to what you were saying about shutting down Koikva, applying so much pressure mid that you let, the rest of your lane slip. He came back so heavily. Like, he is third in net worth, just behind the Lifestealer. The fact that he can, press his ultimate hotkey and dominate in team fights is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Look at Soneko. He's going to be caught out here. He needs to be able to tether out before the silence comes out, but unfortunately was unable to do so and will be caught. Still, I mean, it still serves the same purpose, which was he was there to protect the Lifestealer, to make sure the Lifestealer was able to get out with a, if necessary, suicidal relocate away. And essentially, he served the same purpose there, just ended up dying in the beginning of the team fight and gave Lifestealer the necessary heads up to run himself away. Ice Blast is down. That's, I mean, with the Wisp being down by itself, I think gives you a lot of incentive for Team Tinker to aggressively push in. But when the Ice Blast is down, you've got free reign to do whatever you want at this point. You know Power Rangers cannot fight 100%. And it looks like they're going to continue to try and push it here.
Bloodlust Weaver. Oh, boy.
Shotslow's going in, though. He's got the Lifestealer inside. He's going to be going straight for Pycat. Can they lock him down? The lasso goes down. They will be able to eliminate him, but he does have buyback. He can be back in this team fight. There it is. Pycat is back and ready to rock and rumble. The Ice Blast coming through. Unable to do much there. It looks like silence on J4 prevented him from being able to throw it out. There goes the Lifestealer. Finally, the Ice Blast goes away. It would have been a great Ice Blast too, but Koifa, solid silence by him. As now the Exorcism will be able to take down the set of Rex. 80 seconds on the clock for the Lifestealer. As he is down for a full minute and a half, I think that's Team Tinker taking the game from here.
Yeah, that is just game. Like, Pycat goes and cleans up.
I don't think there's anything like 2 sets of Raxes are probably going to go down. There's no recovery in my mind for Power Rangers from there. They'll try and poke, they'll try and prod, but Team Tinker are looking quite healthy here. As they take down a second set of racks, it's still another full minute. Hell, they can go for more here. As then maybe if they find a pickoff, J4 gets stunned up, multicast on a couple there, and relocate out. We'll be able to save both of them. Nice little small relocate just to be able to go back in. Shotchlow is trying to go for Sing Sing right now, but he doesn't have quite enough burst damage, at least not yet anyway. Meanwhile, Pycat eating through these tier 3 towers. Soneko comes back from his relocate earlier. Need to be able to tether away once again. He gets silenced up before he can actually get out. No multicast for an EGM. He is just not a multicast lord just yet. His EGM will teleport himself away. Pycat continuing to eat through these buildings. 25 seconds. It looks like that's going to be Megas before the Lifestealer can do anything to stop it. Yule Scepter onto Koifa. Pycat quite healthy here. And there goes the Dag, and finally the Range Racks will go down. Cheshire can't manage to lasso him, but immediately gets taken out by Sing Sing, who will die. As the Ice Blast connects with him, immediately teleport in. As Cheshire Cat comes back into the team fight, but it's already Megas. Oh, no, it's not.
No, mid-range Racks.
Yep, there it goes. Pycat, just a couple of hits, he'll get it. And Team Tinker, if they want to, can just back themselves away without fear of losing anybody. And just wait for the Mega Creeps to do their work. And look at that, even a BKB now being finished up by Pycat. Just the ultimate defense item at this point. A 10-second BKB, 50 minutes into the game. I have no idea how you can test with that, but Power Rangers, they obviously only have one option left open for them, and that has got to be a 5-man down mid. There's no way they can deal with Megas. Not with the kind of heroes they have.
Yeah, they managed to kill him, like I said. They blink in silence, then Dagon to break the Lincolns, then lasso him. But Koifa just walks in there with his ultimate.
Double chakrams go out. Digias starts going for Pycat. Gets the Abyssal, trying to lock him down as best as possible. Every single hit of Pycat is ripping through Lifestealer's HP, and Pycat does manage to get off the ultimate, and there it is. The pause doesn't seem to matter, though. Soneko is already down, and GG well played will be called by Power Rangers as Team Tinker manage one hell of a comeback 50 minutes into this game. That is a 20,000 gold drop there over the course of about 15 minutes. Power Rangers unable to secure the game and will end up giving up game 2. That means we are all tied up 1-1. Team Tinker versus Power Rangers game number 3 will be coming up next after a short little break.